Now, all these come as Britain became the country with the second most deaths in the world at 32,000, putting it above Italy in the grim ranking of national fatalities. We have a report coming in live from the UK. Joining us is Graham Thomas. Hello, Graham.
Hello, Alma. Can you hear me okay?
How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. What are your excited to hear your updates for us? Thank you.
Here's our update from the United Kingdom. According to an updated official count released yesterday, you're right, Britain's death toll from the coronavirus is now topped 32,000, which has pushed the UK past Italy to become the second most impacted after the United States. The new toll from the Office for National Statistics and regional health bodies is not yet incorporated into the government's daily figures, which records the current number of deaths as 29,427. However, this is still slightly higher than Italy. They said it has recorded 29,316 virus fatalities to date, but this is far short of the US, where nearly 69,000 have died in the pandemic. However, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab urged against trying to make reliable international comparisons. There are different ways of counting deaths. We now publish data that includes all deaths in all settings, and not all countries do that, he said at the daily Downing Street press conference. The Foreign Secretary asked, can you reliably know that all countries are measuring in the same way? And it also depends on how good, frankly, countries are in gathering their statistics, he said. Raab called the lives lost as a massive tragedy and something in this country on the scale in this way that we have never seen before. Yesterday's updated statistics showed 32,313 total deaths by around April 24. Which means Britain has probably the highest official death numbers in Europe for days. The toll has jumped dramatically on several occasions as the ONS, which tallies all deaths, has regularly updated its count. The ONS releases figures weekly, which covers the periods up to 2 weeks prior and includes coronavirus deaths in care homes and in the community. Until last month, the Health Ministry's daily tallies only counted those who died in hospital after having tested positive for COVID-19. And even after it began to include all fatalities with the virus listed on the death certificate, its totals have been far short of the later ONS totals, with the main reason for the dramatic rise being the extent of the pandemic's impact on care homes emerging. Nearly 6,400 people with coronavirus have died in care homes in England alone, with numbers still rising even as the wider outbreak slows. More than 2,000 of those were reported in the last week of April, when Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Britain was past the peak. Meanwhile, the ONS has also recorded a total of around 42,000 excess deaths, this being how many more people have died in total than would normally be expected just in these past 5 weeks. It suggests Britain's true death toll from the virus may therefore be even higher. I don't think we'll get a real verdict on how well countries have done until the pandemic is over, Raab added. Britain now is in its 7th week of an economically crippling lockdown, is trying to implement a new contact tracing strategy so it can ease the measures. And Johnson is expected to set out his plan to lift the stringent social distancing regime next Sunday, according to media reports. Alma.
So the last time UK Bureau, EBC UK Bureau last time reported that the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, was setting a target at the beginning of April to conduct 100,000 daily tests. Was this achieved by the government?
It depends on which statistic you look at, Alma, to be honest. The latest figures that we have is that Hancock said 122,000 tests were being carried out. However, this did include tests that were just sent out but had not been returned. So the figure that we believe is being currently done is more like 80,000 per day. But again, we must look at this in its entirety, in that as the virus slows, which is what we're being told, then if we're only testing those with symptom, then it is likely that the amount of tests will go down. But today, he has said that we aim by the end of May to have 200,000 tests daily being carried out here in the UK.
And you are also being compared to Italy with the coronavirus being the highest in Europe. What are the authorities saying about this?
The BBC head of statistics, Robert Cuff, said that Britain reached this figure now for our deaths faster than its epidemic in Italy, but there are caveats in making comparisons with other countries, including the UK population being about 10% larger than Italy's, for example. And also we have larger conurbation of people here in the UK compared to Italy. So it is very hard.
Yes, indeed.
I think it could be months before full global comparisons can be made.
All right. Thank you very much, Graham, for your updates. And we'll wait for more. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you for your time.
And you, Emma, this is Graham Thomas from EBC UK. We live in interesting times.
Indeed.